How long did you know that you were going to jet? Was it a that night decision or?
Oh no. I was going to quit one time before. I was going into Raw one time. I knew for a good year before I left. I actually
Wow.
the 2-year mark. And I remember I was getting ready to quit. I was on a live event weekend, and Brian Gewirtz, the head writer of Raw, called me, which he never does. And him and I got along, and I knew that he liked my talent. So I think he was excited to tell me, hey, we're going to be starting you in a storyline with Bryan Danielson. We're going to, with the twins and all that stuff. They were in a major storyline. And I was like, oh, where is this coming from? I was about to quit tomorrow. So I remember calling my then boyfriend, who's now my husband now. I said, oh, I wanted to quit tomorrow, and they're telling me they're going to start me in a storyline. What should I do? What should I do? I don't know what to do here, because I was pretty much very decided. And then so I went ahead with the story, of course, and let that play out, and just didn't turn out. Right. Yeah. So I did everything I thought that they wanted me to do, and I thought I did it well. But then, it's just a matter of one person's opinion in that company, who is ultimately the boss, right?
Yeah, the ultimate decision maker. So
yeah. And I had cornered Brian. I remember thinking, because at this point, they don't give you answers as to why if you ask them, at least not to me. And I said, hey, I've done everything that you guys have asked me to do, pitch stories, do everything that you want to do. What is going on? I don't understand what's missing here. And so he was really, I could tell he wanted to tell me, but he couldn't. And it was basically like, I write stuff for you, but it gets taken out. Yeah. It gets cut. And I go, you don't have to say anymore. The only person that can do that is Vince McMahon. So I knew ultimately, okay, if the boss doesn't like me, what am I doing here, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Rip, did you know how she left WWE? Do you know the story?
No.
Rip's like the only person in America, the wrestling fan, that doesn't know. She eliminated herself in a battle royal.
Okay. Was that? I thought that was that the second time you came back?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I heard that one. I said, well, that was. Yeah. Now, when you eliminated yourself, did you just jump over the top, or
I just rolled under the bottom?
Huh?
She just rolled under the bottom.
And left.
Like in the first 5 seconds of the match.
Well, she got confused on the rules.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. At that time, the women were constantly being cut. And it was a joke. I mean, seriously, for at least years. I mean, they were saying a 6-minute match with intros would turn into a 2-minute match. And then we'd just be thrown out there with these diva walls, they call us, where we all walk out together and act tough. And I remember thinking, the fans are not, I remember them staring back at us when we were doing these silly segments and looking at us like, what are you doing? I remember seeing these fans confused. And I just thought, oh man, most of the time, whenever we get cut down to a little bit of time, I remember us girls being back there right before we go out there. And we're always just like, why are we going out there? Why are we going to go out there for 2 minutes? Like, there is no reason, because the fans are not going to connect in those 2 minutes. We can't tell any type of story in those 2 minutes, and we'd rather just get cut. So then when that battle royal came, now I always try to explain to people that if my role had affected the finish, I would never do that to my coworkers. But because they were like, okay, the first 4 people or 5 people need to get eliminated within the first 2 minutes, I was like, oh, screw this, I'm ready to leave. And then I left.
I guess that was my question. When did you decide to leave the battle royal? Was it like while you were in there, when you're walking down, 30 minutes before, earlier that day?
That day I decided.
Yeah.
I knew I was going to leave. I had like maybe 7 weeks left on my contract. Johnny had mentioned, oh yeah, let's get to that contract. And I was just like, hell no, I don't want him to come to me and try to corner me. And so I decided that day. And then so when that happened, Johnny was just starting his role on TV as that people power thing he did for a little while. People, I don't remember his power of the people. And then so he had gone out for his very first segment, and then they were going to take off to go to SmackDown, right? So that was the last segment on Raw, and I didn't want to miss him, because I was like, if I don't quit now, like I'm gonna have to wait again. And so I caught him coming out of the tunnel, and I said, listen, I'm quitting. and we had a little bit of a talk there. And
Okay.
yeah, right there, then and
So
there.
people weren't just totally shocked then when you came back first. Not everybody, at least.
I mean, some people noticed, but they were just confused in terms of that because the battle royal was earlier in the night, and then
Right.
Johnny's segment was like at the end of the show. So
I
there's
got
a
you.
lot of time in between.
Okay.
I got packed up, changed everything, and then so I told him, "Listen, I want to quit." And he asked me why, and I said, "Really?" Like, and he goes, "Okay." He knew I was miserable, and so, there's a whole bunch of conversation. I had one with him. I had one with Hunter later on that week, and just conversations of trying to offer me a job as a trainer. And so for me, I'd seen Jillian do that, and then she got fired. And not just that, I knew my wrestling career wasn't over. I was like, I'm not going to accept a role as a trainer when I know I have years left. And so I just turned them down. I said, I'm not interested in being a trainer. And, I know my worth, and I want to leave. And that was it.